Mr. President, have you thought about a potential running mate if you were to win the nomination?
I like not to think too much about that. You always do a little bit, but I really don't think it's time. I want to win. And, it's very interesting about running mates. When you get down to a vice president, they said, no, nobody's ever made that kind of a difference. It's still about the person that's going to be president. And it's an important decision.
Are you leaning toward a woman?
I like the concept, but we're going to pick the best person. But I do like the concept, yes.
A lot of people noticed when Governor Gnome endorsed you, there were Trump Gnome signs. Do you have your eye on her?
I do. I think she's fantastic. She's been a great governor. She gave me a very full-throated endorsement, a beautiful endorsement, actually. And, it's been a very good state for me. And certainly she'd be one of the people I'd consider, or for something else maybe. But we have a lot of people. We have a lot of great people in the Republican Party.
A lot of your supporters are asking when I'm out on the trail, when are we going to see the First Lady out on the trail?
Oh, I see. She's right now with Barron in school. She loves that boy. And she's very popular. She actually is. Oh, and she'll be with us. She's very, very supportive.
We'll see her on the trail soon?
Yes. Soon. Yeah, pretty soon. When it's appropriate, but pretty soon. She's a private person, a great person, very confident person, and she loves our country very much. She'll be at the appropriate time. She'll be out there. And honestly, I like to keep her away from it. It's so nasty and so mean. And a lot of it's me. I say, I don't want you coming. It's such a nasty situation. But when we have rallies, the rallies are bigger than ever, better than ever. You saw in South Carolina, we had 82,000 people. The biggest rallies we've ever had. There's a spirit in the country now that likes, look, 2016 was incredible. 2020 was actually much better. We got many more votes, millions and millions more votes. But I've never seen spirit like I see right now. And I really believe part of that is maybe because they love what we're saying. But a big part of it is that our country is doing so badly. Our country is doing so badly with the borders, with the military, with the lack of respect all over the world. And I think that probably adds to what we're doing.
Can I ask you a question? I don't think you've ever gotten this question, but it's been reported that you left a note for President Biden when you left office.
It's true.
It's true?
Yeah.
What, can you give us this little sense of what you said?
It's interesting. He actually said it's up to me to do, and I actually think it's up to him to do. I left him a note. I think it was a nice note. I took a lot of time in thinking about it. I'd love him to do a great job, even if it was very bad politically. I would rather have him have wonderful borders, have no wars, have no Ukraine problems, which, to a large extent was caused by him because of, if you looked at the rhetoric before that war started and the things that were said, I would much rather be in a position where the country's doing great now. We had him as a president, but the country's doing horribly. I don't think the country's ever been so disrespected. So many bad things are happening.
When you look at the polls and you see that the majority of voters don't want to see President Biden run again, and frankly, they don't want to see you run
What's wrong?
again, Mr.
See, that's
President.
where you're wrong.
What do you make of those polls?
Well, I just looked at a poll in the Republican Party. 89% want me to run, and that's the highest number that they've ever had. That's higher than Ronald Reagan. The general poll, I think they love my policy. A lot of people say they love my policy, but they don't necessarily like me. I think they do like me. So in the Republican Party, I'm 89, 90, 92%. There's a big love fest going on. And when you look at these people running, they're at 2%, 1%, 5%. One's at 9%, to sanctimonious. But I'm at, beating by 60, 70 points. It's unprecedented. Nobody's ever seen a thing like that. And the voters themselves, I think they're going to be very happy. Look, we have to turn our country around. And I said it before, we have to make America great again.
What do you make of the age issue? Should there be an age limit to running for president?
No, but there should be a competency. I'm all for the test. I took a test 3 years ago. And as the doctors said, and it was in front of doctors and a whole big deal at Walter Reed, which is an incredible place, and I aced it. I got everything right. I'm all for testing. I frankly think testing would be a good thing. A lot of people say it's not constitutional to do it, but I would be for testing to make sure everyone's just fine. But a lot of people say that can't happen because of Constitution.
What do you say to people who say it is time for a new generation of leaders?
Well, it's always time for a new generation. But, you know, some of the greatest world leaders have been in their 80s. I'm not anywhere very near 80, by the way. But and Biden's not too old. I don't think Biden's too old. But I think he's incompetent. And that's a bigger problem. I don't think 80 is old. I know people that are in 89. I know a person 94, 95 who's 100%. Bernie Marcus. Take a look at Bernie Marcus, Home Depot. I mean, he has been amazing for so many years. He's 95 years old. It's really a level of competency, not the age.
You will be in your 80s if you're reelected. Does that concern you at all?
Well, I will be toward the end. No, because my father lived much longer than that. My mother lived much longer than that. So genetically, that's a good thing.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. President?
No, I just wish you a lot of luck. You're going to have great success.
Thank you, Mr.
I predict.
President. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.